You're sitting on the couch. Your partner is mid-sentence, something about the dishes, or that thing you said 3 days ago, and you can feel your face going still. Your jaw locks. Your throat feels wrapped in gauze. Your shoulders rise an inch and stay there. You can hear them, but the words are arriving through water. They ask, "Are you even listening?" And you want to answer. You really do, but your mouth has clocked out for the night. If you've been called cold or shut down for this exact moment, this video is going to make you feel ridiculously seen. You're not cold. You're not checked out. Your nervous system just hit a switch you didn't know it had. Here's what nobody tells you about shutting down. It's not a personality flaw. It's not avoidance. It's not even really a choice. What you're experiencing has a name in the research literature. They call it dorsal vagal shutdown, and it's one of the oldest survival responses your body has. Older than fight, older than flight. When your nervous system decides the threat is too big to fight and too close to outrun, it does the third thing. It goes still. It's the same circuitry that makes a possum play dead. Translation, your body's doing exactly what it evolved to do. You're not broken, you're just running ancient software. This is the work of Dr. Stephen Porges, the neuroscientist who developed polyvagal theory. Porges found that your vagus nerve, that long wandering nerve connecting your brain to basically every organ that matters, has two different branches. One handles social engagement, calm conversation, eye contact. The other, the dorsal branch, handles total system shutdown. When the threat hits a certain threshold, your brain skips fight or flight entirely and drops you into freeze. Heart rate slows, blood drains from the limbs, voice goes flat. You're not zoning out, you're conserving. Wild, right? Then there's Dr. Dan Siegel's concept of the window of tolerance. Every nervous system has a band where it can handle stress and still stay present. Above that window, you go into hyperarousal, anxiety, panic, racing thoughts. Below it, you crash into hypoarousal, flatness, dissociation, the static behind your eyes. Here's the thing. People who shut down early usually grew up with a much narrower window. When the nervous system learns young that big feelings get punished or ignored, it sets the threshold low. By adulthood, a slightly raised voice can land like a fire alarm at 3 a.m. Dr. John Gottman has spent over 40 years studying couples in his love lab at the University of Washington, and he found something fascinating. When the heart rate of one partner climbs above roughly 100 beats per minute during conflict, something he calls flooding kicks in. The thinking brain literally goes offline. They stop hearing arguments. They stop forming words. They look glazed, distant, almost rude. Gottman named the visible side of it stonewalling, but underneath it's not refusal, it's neurological flooding. Translation, the person who won't talk isn't choosing silence. Their brain is currently underwater. And here's where it gets interesting. Researchers studying parentified kids, children who had to manage adult emotions before their own nervous systems were ready, find this pattern over and over. The body learned that the safest response to a big feeling in the room was to become very, very small. Shrink, go quiet, let the storm pass over you. The kid who couldn't fight back and couldn't run figured out how to disappear in plain sight. The grown-up version is still running the same code, decades later, in conference rooms and kitchens and text threads. Think about the last time someone said, "We need to talk." Notice how your body went somewhere before your mind did. The slight cooling in your hands, the tiny held breath, the way your chest got smaller and your face stopped doing the small, involuntary things faces do. That's not anxiety. That's your nervous system preloading the shutdown. This is why you go quiet in performance reviews, even when the feedback is fine. Why you can't access the witty comeback until you're in the car driving home, gripping the steering wheel and replaying the whole thing. Why you sit through family dinners with the smile glued on, and your inner life packed up in a back room. Why you've been called a wall, closed off, hard to read, when from the inside, it doesn't feel like a wall. It feels like a power outage. You're not the person who doesn't care. You're the person whose nervous system cared so much, so early, that it built a panic room for emergencies. And now it sends you there for paper cuts. And here's a specific one. It's Tuesday at 2 p.m. Your boss messages you. Do you have a sec? Suddenly, you can't remember a single thing you've worked on this month. Your ears are warm. Your fingers won't type. You haven't done anything wrong, and your body knows that intellectually, but the system already pulled the plug. Now, here's the honest part. Shutdown protected you when you needed it, but left unchecked, it can quietly end relationships you actually want. Because the people who love you can't always tell the difference between I don't care and I care so much I'm in the basement of my own body right now. From the outside, both look the same. The work isn't getting rid of the response. Your nervous system isn't going to abandon a tool it's been sharpening for 30 years. The work is learning to send up a flare before you disappear. A simple, I'm flooding, give me 20 minutes, can save a conversation your silence would have buried. Here's the image I want to leave you with. Watch a perennial garden in late November. The hostas are gone. The lavender's down to brown sticks. From the kitchen window, the whole bed looks dead. Over. Finished. Nothing alive there. But 6 inches below the frost line, the roots are doing the most important work of the year. Storing sugar. Tightening their grip on the soil. Waiting out a season they were never built to bloom through. Spring isn't a comeback for them. It's just the part everyone else can see. That's you in shutdown. Not absent, not gone, not refusing. Just rooted somewhere the room can't reach yet. You're not emotionally unavailable. You're a perennial in winter, and your spring runs on its own clock. Tell me in the comments, what's the moment that triggers your shutdown? The raised voice, the we need to talk, the long pause on the other end of the phone. If this hit home for you, please subscribe. And if you want to support these deep dives, hit that join button to become a channel member. I would genuinely appreciate your support.